What's up, y'all, and welcome back to Dad Needs to Talk. I'm your host, Robert, and today I am joined by Raphael, as many of y'all may also know as Manga Alerts on Twitter. What's up, Raphael?
Hey, what's up, bro? How you doing? How we doing?
Good, good. How are you doing today, man?
Doing good, man. First podcast I've ever been on, and I'm, super excited to do it with you. Been a long time listener, being being an OG listener since I was at I hit before 1,000 followers. That's when we followed each other.
Yeah.
I know I came across your episode on like the manga Country Without Humans, and since then, dog, I've been hooked to your show. Like I'm telling you, like every manga that you like featured on your show, I picked it up, read it, loved it. So very glad to be on this show today.
Yes, and I'm definitely very glad to have you. And as always, for those of y'all, if this is your first time here, then welcome. But if you're a returning watcher and or listener, then welcome back. Here at Dad Needs to Talk, it's all about fatherhood and family, manga, lots of manga,
Oh yeah.
anime, and sometimes a little sprinkle of video games in there. So let me cut the music real quick because so we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff, but one of the main reasons, and I guess just to kind of put people on for those who might not be aware of Manga Alerts and what Raphael does over there, because your your primary page, at least that I follow and stuff, is on Twitter. Even though I know you have Instagram and stuff too, correct?
Yeah, don't worry. Like that one, I'm working on getting that one back
Yeah.
up and running. But the main one is Twitter. That's my bread and butter.
Yes. So yeah. So like Raphael said, we met each other on Twitter earlier this year because what, you started your page back in February of this year, 2022,
Yep.
uh, and yeah, the growth that you have had in these, what, 6 7 months, however long it's
Yeah.
been,
Yeah.
as a spectator, has been fascinating to watch. But before we dive too deep into all of that stuff, I guess I'll let you do a little self introduction to who you are and what Manga Alerts is.
Okay. All right. I got you. All right. So, hey everyone, my name is Raphael, and I'm the guy behind the Twitter account Manga Alerts, which is a Twitter account dedicated to finding any manga deals, restock, news, and other stuff related to those topics. I also run an event on Twitter called Follower Friday, which includes giveaways that are open to everyone internationally every Friday, right? And a
Mm-hmm.
uh, and a collection thread, so you can show off like your collections and hauls for that week. So if you're looking for a place to show off or brag, then that's all encouraged in my thread. So go ahead and drop your stuff there, or whatever idea pops into my head. Honestly, on Friday, honestly, I wing that stuff, but primarily people come for the collection thread and the giveaways. So there's that. But most importantly, at the end of every month, I run a behind the alerts thread, which
Mm-hmm.
gives you guys 100% full transparency on how much I make, meaning like how much money I get from my affiliate links, how that money is divided up, and how my page is growing, which is often something that you don't see on a social media page at all. I do this because it's sort of like my way to thank you guys for all the support and all the time that you took out of your day to follow me. And I'm someone who takes things very like personal, and I like put a little bit of myself into the things that I do. And so doing this thread and doing everything that I've done up to this point is my personal thank you to you guys for following me.
Yeah, for sure, man. And yeah, like if if you are on Twitter and you're not following Manga Alerts, correct that. um, because yeah, he stays on top of all of the various deals going on. Anytime there's a buy two get one free sale somewhere, anytime there's a restock of stuff, anything you could think of in regards to the selling of manga, uh, the at Alerts manga Twitter page is the place to follow, because for one, I guess like I said, like for me as a spectator in all of this, uh, I just appreciate just having that type of resource, because I kind of equivalent it to, a lot of people might also be aware of the Twitter account Wario 64,
Yeah.
he's primarily in the video game side of things, though he does do some other deals and stuff along the way. But at least like for myself, I mainly follow him for those video games and stuff, for the video game deals, I should say. And so it's been nice kind of having a equivalent of sorts for manga. And so I definitely got to say, appreciate you and all the stuff that you do, man. Uh,
Thank you.
cause anytime, even if may not be nothing that I'm immediately in the market looking for or whatever, I can still always just appreciate you know a good deal in general,
Oh
especially
yeah.
especially if it's something that's like a rare item to find, especially when it comes to like stuff like like these various box sets and stuff
Oh yeah.
that have
Yeah.
been getting
No.
sold lately. I know that's been like a very hot item.
Oh yeah. No. Tell me about it. Like, yeah. Tell me about it, dog. It's crazy.
Yes. Um, and so I guess we'll kind of but before we'll take a little bit of a trip down memory lane before
Yeah.
before manga alerts was a thing. Uh, you and your journey into becoming a manga slash anime fan in general.
Yeah.
Um, where did your journey with manga, and like I said, anime included, where did your journey
Yeah.
with those things kind of begin?
So okay, no, I got you. So first things first, believe it or not, I was actually in the crowd that thought liking manga and anime was weird. Yeah,
Mm,
I was in that crowd. Yeah, and it wasn't until the pandemic started
mm,
was when I was like, okay, you know what? Let's kind of open up my horizons a little bit. And shout out to the girlfriend, because obviously she is a big pusher and getting me into anime, specifically
yeah,
My Hero Academia.
nice,
So now,
nice.
and I actually thought, it was really good. I liked
Hmm.
it. And from there, it was just, as you know, you start with one, then you go with another one, then you go with another one. So
It
it's
snowballs
crazy.
quickly.
It's a snowball quickly. Yep, yep. So, but for some trivia, my actual first ever anime that I watched was
Hmm.
Samurai Champloo.
Nice,
And my first manga that I read was Chainsaw Man.
nice, nice.
Yeah.
Two immediate bangers.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like
Yes.
and like I always see people that are like, "Oh, this is like a good starter like manga or starter anime," and I just went like the complete opposite of what they went with, and here I am now.
Yeah, that is dope. So okay, so that, and it's kind of funny that you mentioned, because I feel like especially even with just some of the people that I've had on my podcast in this last year since I've been doing this, whatever, it's been many people who kind of were in like a similar boat, as far as like they were maybe into anime at least or whatever, but didn't really get into like the manga side of things until the pandemic a couple years ago. So that's just very interesting, of that kind of reoccurring theme and that reoccurring story of through this crazy world event that a lot of people found. I don't know if to say comfort or solace or escape, or whatever the reason person might have been for diving into the realm of manga. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's like this. I mean, it's sort of like a blessing in disguise in a way,
Hmm.
because it's like now that we've had, for most people, have this like extra free time that we once previously did not have.
Hmm.
We're all naturally going to want to find outlets for the stuff that we do every single day.
Yep.
So some people, it's more movies, more like streaming stuff, more gaming, and for me, it was anime and manga.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So okay, so with that being a just within the last couple of years, then what kind of led you to wanting to start the Twitter page and go down to this road of being the the
Of being the guy, the hook up the plug. Yeah.
yes, being the guy behind the deals.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I got you. So funny story that you mentioned Wario 64. I actually followed Wario 64. I think when he before he reached, I think it was like a million.
Hmm.
And the big thing that I remembered from him was Target had this like error or something
Hmm.
where if you signed up for their like text alerts, you got a 15 to 20% code.
Oh wow.
And right, so it's pretty standard stuff, right?
Yeah.
But then what happened was there was like different numbers you could text and get different codes each time. So you were able to stack, I think, like three or four 15% off codes in
Hmm.
one go.
Oh.
So like those, let me see if I remember right. Like Xboxes and PlayStations were like $100 instead of like 300.
Yeah.
I know guys who like copped 4K TVs and OLED TVs
Yeah.
for like what was it, 1,000 to like down to like 200, $300. I'm a bit exaggerating, but that was
Yeah.
how insane the deal was.
Yeah.
And since then, I've been hooked on trying to find stuff that's on sale and on like clearance or a price or anything like that because I just really like that rush of, oh crap, that's a pretty good deal, and I want to jump on it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I definitely have seen him kind of post some insane stuff like that too over the years, of just like, hey, if you do this, or maybe not even like a thing like that, but to where like Best Buy, their website had a glitch and some super expensive thing was $10 or something
Oh yeah.
ridiculous, and then it's like it's always funny to where it's like, oh, check it out, and then sometimes it lasts for a good couple hours, and sometimes it's like 30 minutes later he's retweeting it, being like, all right, they found the error and it's
Live
not
on
going
it. It's
on.
gone. It's done. No, that's happened with like the PS5 so many times. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not sure if you were there, but when Sony announced, like, oh, yeah, we're going to have the pre order for the PS5 on this date,
yeah,
100%. And then all the retailers just completely ignored what Sony said and released it like 2 or 3 days earlier.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, dude, that was crazy. That was a crazy time to be a part of.
yeah. So okay, cool. So then what was the next thing that kind of led to your page starting?
Yeah, so like I said, because of the pandemic, I really got into more anime and manga.
Hmm.
And honestly, it was one of those like one thing led into another where I'm like, okay, so I like this stuff,
Hmm.
but I didn't see anyone in my like immediate like circle on doing like any like manga deals or anything like that.
Yeah,
So then my friends were like, huh, I bet you could do that. I'm like, really? I don't know. And you'll come to find that I often doubt myself a lot on what I can and can't do
yeah,
to then like do it. And then I'm like honestly surprised, like, oh crap, I've actually done this. So I really did not expect myself to like be where I'm at right now.
yeah,
I thought like only like one or two people were gonna follow and that's it. But what, I'm sitting at 8,000 plus followers and counting now.
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that whole thing has been like I said, sound like a broken record, but it's just like just fascinating. Like I said, just watching just its evolution, and especially because even though I follow you, it's like I turn my head and I look back, and then it's like either you've jumped some more followers, or you have all types of deals and connections going on with all these various
Oh
publishers and
yeah. Yeah,
stuff.
dude. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then it's like, cause like we said at the beginning, it's like I've been following you since for sure under 1,000, if not way less than even that.
I think you were like one of the first, like either 100 or 200. Yeah.
That sounds
Yeah.
about right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just been and I'm just like, it's like, wait, he's up here joking with with the Viz account,
Oh,
and
dude. Yeah. No, yeah, no, let me talk about that a little bit. I could not. So that whole thing, how it started was me mostly commenting like jokes and funny, like, memes under the Viz Media account.
Yeah.
And then I think what it was that got me sort of like that follow, because everyone was shocked that I got the follow.
Yeah.
Even myself that I got the follow. So there was someone that asked for help. I think it was on Vagabond and wanting to know when the reprint was. And I actually went and like before had like a big old tweet about like, oh, here's all the Vagabond stuff that you can back order on Rights of Anime. I posted that to him, and whoever was running the social media account was like, oh dude, that's really sick. And then like a few hours later, someone asked the Viz Media on Instagram, oh hey, where's this manga in stock? And I commented, and they're like, oh bro, you're like on everywhere, man, like damn. And from there, I think I was about to reach like 1,000. And I think, fun fact, I believe they are my 1,000th follower on Twitter. So awesome. I think they like kind of saw me like close to there, and then like, all right, we'll throw them a bone a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, so they threw me the bone, and I, every time like you meet someone or meet something that like has inspired you or has like had like, such an emotional impact or an attachment to you.
Yeah.
Bro, I wrote that social media guy like a full on like essay on like all the stuff that like you've done, how it impacted me and everything, and he responded really well. And I think and next thing you know, they said, hey, you want some free stuff to give away? I'm like, ain't no way, like stop capping. And they're like, no, we'll give you stuff to give away. And before I would do like giveaways every like some history, I used to do giveaways like every like 100 followers I would reach. And then out of the blue, when that Viz collab happened, I think right before the Viz collab, I did a Demon Slayer box set, and that really like exploded my account. That was like the one that like really exploded, because at the time, for some history, you often see giveaways either like limited to like US or Canada only, or just US only, and it's like sucks because some of these other countries don't have the same resources to access manga as easily as we do in the United States. So when I said, okay, I'm gonna make this Demon Slayer box set, which I know everyone loves Demon Slayer, completely open for anyone to win, like anyone all over the world, everyone was like, bro, what? Ain't no way. And then right after that was the Viz Media one, where I said the same thing again, got a collab with Viz Media, and it's open for everybody internationally. Everyone like collectively lost their minds. I was like, everyone who was talking to was like, ain't no way you got this, bro. I think the Dark Sage, if you know who he is on Twitter,
he's been on the podcast before.
He shouted me out in a video, and I think if you catch one of his older videos, he actually showed like, dude, this guy got a Viz Media collab, and I'm like, damn, that's crazy. I'm like, I'm as shocked as you are, honestly, too. So it's crazy. I think right now I'm doing a collab with Kaiten Books, the publishers behind the Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting, which I know we'll talk about a little bit, and like what I've been reading and watching. But that conversation was funny, because they asked me, I did a giveaway with them before on I think it was the Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting and like 2 other manga. But this time around, Volume 3 is releasing, I believe, 2 weeks from now. I know today is like July 30th. I'm not sure when the episode's going to come out, but whenever it comes out, I think in the next 2 weeks, they reached up to me and they said, hey, you want to help us break the street date of our own book? And I said, hell yeah, I do. And next, I would never expect a publisher to come up to me and be like, you want to help us break the street date of our own book? I'm like, I'm sold. And well, here we are now doing a giveaway on Twitter right now. I think, for volumes 1 through 3 of the Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting. And if not, then I'm going to be doing something probably crazier than that. But
and I get, I don't even know if I even want to tease.
No, go for it.
You know what? I'm a tease. I'm not gonna give no specifics yet, but hopefully, fingers crossed, if everything goes right, we might have some type of giveaway going on the week that this goes on as well. So like I said, just a little tease for the people out there. Whenever this episode posts, just keep an eye out on both the Daddy's Talk Twitter account as well as the Alerts Manga account, because we might have some goodies and stuff for you as well.
Oh
So,
yeah, absolutely,
uh,
absolutely.
but like I said, just a tease.
Just a little bit. Can't reveal too much. Can't reveal too much, you know.
Yes, but yeah. So yeah. So that story was wild, and like what you just said with the Yakuza's got a base, because I have it up on my little second monitor over here, and I'm looking at it and stuff, because I know, like you said, we'll touch on it in a little bit or whatever, but I've been freaking enjoying uh that show so freaking much.
Oh yeah.
But like I said, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll geek out. We'll geek out about it. I think Titan Books, whenever they listen to this and I mention them to them, they'll be like, "Oh, dude, see, we picked the right guy to promote our stuff with," you know. And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, you did."
Yes, for sure. Um, so I guess kind of going on a extension from that. Um, what has been a trying to think how to phrase it. I guess or I guess like how has that whole process been with getting all these various partnerships and affiliate links and
Yeah.
all that stuff, like how has all of that stuff been for you, man? And I guess like has majority of them been, people reaching out to you, about that, versus, you initiating, like what has kind of been like the balance,
Okay, I
of
got
the
you.
two.
Yeah, I got you. So when I first started out, I did Right Stuff Anime,
Mm-hmm.
and those guys over there were really easy. If you want to be an affiliate, honestly, it's as easy as going. I think leave at the very bottom of their page. There's a little section on there that says, "Would you like to make money with us?" And simply put, you go in there, sign up with their like affiliate site or whatever,
Yeah.
and once you get approved, it's as simple as just taking a link from their website
Mm-hmm.
and converting it to like an affiliate link and then
Mm-hmm.
just posting it and doing like the proper FTC guidelines, like making sure, okay, this is an ad that I'm making money off of this, all
Yeah.
this other stuff. So for most of the stuff that I post,
Mm-hmm.
if I remember correctly, I was the one who initiated it
Mm-hmm.
because I think every store that you go to has an affiliate program that you sign up for.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will say some of them will deny you. Like, for fun story, even though I am now an Amazon affiliate link and I have been for a while, they
Mm-hmm.
denied me like a good, I think, 4 or 5 times
Mm.
before I got approved. I think like the first 4 or 5 was because I wasn't either quote unquote big enough or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was because I wasn't big enough. And I'm like, okay, all right. And that kind of inspired me to go and go be a little try hard here and try to outdo everybody with these
Yeah.
giveaways and such. And next thing you know, I applied and I got approved. So
Awesome.
here we go. Yeah.
Awesome. And I guess just for, I guess, a little bit of inside baseball and just knowledge for listeners or watchers that might not be uh, aware of what exactly is an affiliate program. Can you kind of go into like what exactly that means
Yeah.
and what that kind of entails?
Yep. Okay. So pretty much an affiliate is someone who not necessarily represents the brand, but directs people to that brand's
Mm-hmm.
site, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when they do that and a customer makes a purchase, that customer purchased however many dollar amount like it does,
Mm-hmm.
we affiliates get a small commission because we led you to the site.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, we don't work with the brand specifically.
Yeah.
Some do, some don't. But for like the big ones that I post, like Right Stuff Anime, Amazon, Books a Million, I am my own person,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to abide by their affiliate rules, which
Mm-hmm.
is like, oh, I can't like mislead you guys, or I can't like say, uh, oh, such and such brand said this. Like, no, there's a whole like list of rules and terms and conditions that you have to like
Yeah.
read through and everything to make sure you're following the rules.
Yeah.
On top of that, there's FTC guidelines to make sure that the people that you like lead to,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
that it's an advertisement, it's 100% advertisement, and make it obvious, and just being like super transparent with your audience with that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
because no one wants to get in trouble by the law.
Yes. That is definitely a very true statement. Cause yeah, like you said, it's like hey, we're all here for the love of manga, but none of us wants to go to jail behind it.
Yeah, no one wants to do that. No, no.
Like man, like Manga Alerts hasn't posted in a while.
Yeah, no. The minute I like stop posting for at least a day or two is when the whole internet's gonna like go on like a manhunt for me to be like, hey yo, what happened to this man?
Like is he okay? So need to bail him out. What's going on?
Yeah, no, you're
Yeah.
if that day ever comes, nah, bro. I'm gonna let me fall. If I get to that point, nah, bro, I deserved it, bro. Don't bail me out. That's on me. I don't need y'all to bail me out or anything like that.
That's funny. Um, but yeah, so I'm up here trying to play around with stuff and show off some of your stuff.
Oh yeah, go for it.
But yeah, so yeah, you do some of the the affiliate links and stuff, and and I know like you mentioned that at the end of every month, you kind of do the behind the alerts uh, thing, which I didn't realize, or I not necessarily realize, but I didn't notice that you were doing until recently, because I think I might have saw a thread where somebody else, or not somebody, but somebody I guess was responding with their stuff attached to
Yeah,
yours,
yeah,
and then I was like, oh, okay, what is this, whatever, and then I went through and I was like, oh, okay, this is what's going on, or whatever, and it definitely, like I said, for me as a observer of what's going on, it definitely was insightful to kind of see some of the behind the scenes of like, oh, okay, so this is what's going on and things like that, because you know me being a content creator myself, a lot of this stuff I'm familiar with the terms and stuff, but I've never myself done any of the like affiliate programs or sponsorships or none of that stuff yet. Keyword yet. Hey,
yeah. No, absolutely. Hey,
you know,
man.
anybody out there,
Open market.
hit your boy Daddy's
Sponsor.
talk up.
Yeah, yeah, bro. Trust me. I give him my full endorsement as a listener and all that. Wasn't paid to say that, by the way. Wasn't paid to say it. It's
Definitely.
facts.
But yeah, so a lot of that stuff, like I said, I've been aware of those things, but kind of getting that breakdown of how it is for you behind the scenes, um, has definitely been very interesting and very you know um, insightful to see. Uh, and so I guess if you don't mind us going into that a little bit or whatever, like
Yeah.
how has that stuff been for you as far as like the I guess for like a better term, like the benefits that you've kind of gained from you know being a man on the inside now, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. I got you. So first things first, to hit on your behind the alert stuff. I did that because again, I want to be as open and honest and transparent with y'all as possible.
Hmm.
You often don't see that with some of the other content creators, and that's fine. I'm not here to say all content creators should do that because everyone is different.
Yeah.
But for me and in my page, I'm very personal, and the fact that you guys have given your time to like out of your busy schedules, because everyone's schedules are different,
Yeah.
to follow me and look at me and like all this other stuff. This is my way to kind of give you guys an inside look of like, how do I do things? How do I spend the money? How do I fund this sort of stuff? Because at the end of the day, like, this isn't like oh, everything's free and everything. I kind of want to give like a very grounded like look at the behind the scenes of what I do.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people appreciate that. I know some people didn't like me doing that, and I had one person, obviously not going to name names, but
Yeah.
said it was very unprofessional for me to do, and that companies won't like go for people who do that sort of stuff. And then I kid you not, like the next week after, I think I got a collab with another company, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm doing the right thing here.
Yeah.
But definitely being a part of, I guess, the inside inside, right? That
Yeah.
often is not being like often shown from a level. It was really eye opening to see sort of like how things are done,
Yeah.
especially like when it comes to, oh, why is this manga out of stock, or why does this manga out of stock for so long,
Yeah.
or how how do some of these publishers acquire these licenses? So I know a big one that everyone was talking about was how did Yen Press during their Anime Expo announcement somehow steal the license of Oshinoko and Honey Lemon Soda from Viz Media.
Yeah.
That was like huge.
Yeah.
And I know why. But for most people that I saw, they didn't understand why. And I was like, oh, wow, that's crazy that I was able to sort of like, with the influence that I have and the connections that I have, I'm able to know. And of course, I have no problem sharing this. I know some people don't share it, but for me, I don't have any problem sharing.
Yeah.
But yeah, just being able to like understand the behind the scenes of stuff, because I'm someone who loves behind the scenes stuff,
Yeah.
that I really appreciated that, and I'm really glad that I'm able to know that part of it.
Yeah, for sure. Because like you said, a lot of times with this stuff, like you said, there are those people that are like no, don't, people shouldn't know this, or no, I'm gonna keep this secret to myself. But I am also one that, where possible and stuff, I definitely like to share knowledge and stuff with others because even the little bit of stuff that I've gained knowledge on in my time, doing this podcast and content creation stuff, I want to help the next person because it's like, it's like, okay, if I have a friend or somebody that, that I see online that are trying to figure out, okay, I want to do a podcast or I want to do manga reviews, which whatever,
Yeah.
and they're just kind of like lost or don't know really know like where to begin or whatever. Well, even though I'm not like a super veteran, I haven't been doing this for like 10 years or nothing, or whatever, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I have learned something, and I know even if it's just one small nugget of wisdom or information, it's more than what I had when I started. And so those things can go a very long way because one piece of information that I gained in recent months that literally everybody that I've had on my podcast since then, if we don't talk about it while we're recording, I for sure after we record and we kind of have my little chat time with whoever after we record or whatever, I just spill the beans because and one of those main things has been uh getting early access to stuff for review. Now,
Yeah.
while I still haven't fully cracked the code on getting the physical copies of stuff in or whatever, I'm still once again Viz, Yen
Hey. Hey.
Press,
Yeah.
Kodansha,
Yeah.
Seven
No, I got
Scenes.
you.
Y'all want to send me stuff? Hit me up. But I will say shout out to Yen Press because they pointed me in the direction of two websites called NetGalley and I believe the other one's called, I believe it's pronounced Idleweiss. Idleweiss. I don't know how to pronounce it. But those are two websites that you can go to for free, make an account for free, and you can get access to digital copies of books, not just manga. It's manga, comics, regular literature books, whatever, all that stuff. You can get copies of stuff digitally for free to review. And that has been very helpful for me in these recent months for many reasons. Because for one, it's given me more flexibility with the amount of stuff that I cover on my podcast because I've come across stuff that I might not have even known or heard about. I've come across stuff that are digital only manga, so I would have never seen it. No matter how many times I go to Barnes and Nobles or Books a Million, I would have never come across it because it's a digital only release, and everything in between. But like I said, it's because I reached out, and Yen Press is one of the few whose DMs were open.
Yeah.
and luckily, shout out to whoever the community person who's running that account was nice enough to give me that negative information where I'm like, hey, now I know it. Now I share it to everybody else who will listen and stuff. So, but that is definitely a very important thing that we need in this community is just just help and information and stuff because like I said, sometimes it's just a simple thing of like people want to do stuff or want to get involved with these things, but a lot of times it's just nobody is talking about like how it is
Yeah,
done. It's like
yeah, no, absolutely.
we're seeing people all the time on Twitter or Instagram or whatever being like, hey, shout out to whatever publisher for sending over this copy of this video game or this box of manga or whatever. And, we're in the comments being like, hey, congrats, but how?
Yeah, or they just don't like disclose that it was provided, which is what is it? Not everyone does this, and I'm glad not everyone does this.
Yeah.
But a majority of accounts that like do partake in these like deals or anything, they just simply put just don't tell it people, and they just say, "Oh yeah, look, I got this stuff for free. It was sent to me for free." But they just don't disclose it if it's an advertisement or anything like that, which
Yep.
can get you in trouble if you don't disclose it.
Yep.
But definitely like being able to like know who to go to and whatever. Not, I have a few people here that I want to shout out. So
Yeah.
definitely big shout out to Midnight Roboto for following me like early like 100 followers.
Yeah.
He was the main guy who pushed me to keep going and go and to do what he does. He does a lot of similar stuff to me. He does stuff about top picks in manga, but before he also used to do like restock alerts on both US and Canada, and he
Yeah.
kind of showed me like where to look and such. And then I was actually scouted out by someone in a Discord server. I believe it's called Jake's Discord server,
Mm-hmm.
and it's run by a guy, funny enough, named Jake, who has a bot that crawls through all of like Right Stuff anime because the other sites don't allow for bots to like rip qual through your stuff
Yeah.
for anything that comes in stock or anything. Because fun fact, I used to do everything before I joined this server by hand. So I would go on every single website, Amazon, Books a Million, Barnes and Nobles, Right Stuff, go through everything by hand. And if it
Yeah.
was out of stock, I would sign up for the email alert and all that stuff, and I would check every single day.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I got this this Discord server, and they were like, "Hey, just here we go. Here's a tool that you can use. But just help us out." And I did, and everything was great. And that's how I met Fire Lunar, who is the host of the Restock Roundup over on TikTok. That guy's
Mm.
pretty cool. Yeah. He was one of the first content creators I did a collab with
Yeah.
for, I believe it was the Bleach box set. And that also, again, kind of opened the door to collabing with other creators as well. So, we sort of have like a kind of a little bit of a restock crew in a way. We
Yeah.
have our own like DM group, so it includes Fire Lunar, Pirates Chest, who also does deals on manga, anime, and anime figures, and
Mm-hmm.
let's see, Anime Collective. Those guys are really awesome when it comes to doing
Oh, hello.
and stuff. I know recently they did a comparison video on the Barnes and Nobles version and the retail version of Tokyo Revengers, which helped
Mm.
out a lot. So shout out to them. Shojose World. So for my fans of shojo and josei manga, and if you're looking for a really good like hub for deals and information and just news on shojose,
Yeah.
then definitely follow them. And finally, the homie Kushi. Kushi does like manga like synopsises of different stuff that you probably might not heard of. And
Yeah.
every week he does a shonen review week
Mm.
on like different shonen titles that have often come out. But all of us together kind of like form this sort of like group or something amongst ourselves, and we just share like stuff with each other. Like someone finds something, and you'll often see on some of our posts, you'll see that like CC of like a bunch of different like posts, and it's like, who the heck are these guys?
Yeah.
That's us like letting each other know like, hey, there's a deal on this, or oh, there's a deal on that, and it's crazy.
Yeah. I follow some of the because I for sure follow Midnight Roboto.
Yeah,
Uh, matter of fact, they just made a post about they just read Yakuza Reincarnation for
yeah.
y'all know that was one of my recent favorites.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Yep.
and then I think the lunar person. I think I follow them too. At least
Yeah,
at least I follow them on Twitter. Um,
yeah, yeah. He's primarily on TikTok and Twitter, but I
yeah,
kind of did some convincing to like get him on Twitter,
yeah.
and yeah, there you go.
But yeah. So yeah. Those are definitely all very uh, helpful resources. Um, if you are in the hunt for some manga that, like I said, either something that might have been out of stock, or you're just trying to find the best deal on on a manga that you might have your eyes on. Uh, I guess you know what I want one kind of fun question I want to ask you
Yeah.
is what has been what has been maybe like some of your favorite finds, and that can be either just from a personal level of like, wow, I can't believe I found this, or just the way that the or either the reaction that the community got from like, yo, thank you so much for finding this deal or for
Yeah.
talking about this. So
Okay.
yeah,
I got a few, but
yeah,
for yeah, I got a few. So the first one was definitely the One Piece box set one. Like that, like
mm,
there was a huge drought for One Piece box set one.
yes,
Like I kid you not, every other like post was a post asking about, hey, when's One Piece box set one coming back? Hey, where's One Piece one coming back?
yeah,
Hey, I see One Piece volume 86 come back in stock, but now what about the box set? And I know some people may get annoyed by it. Me, I have a lot of patience, so I don't mind
yeah,
it too much. But I'm always like, all right, just hold the phone. We're almost there. We're almost there. And then seeing like other countries get it first, that was really exciting to see.
yeah,
Because again, my page is not just only US and Canada. I try to do as many international deals as possible.
yeah,
It's just that what sucks is that there's often not many international deals as compared to, let's say, United States or Canada.
yeah,
So seeing like a One Piece box set come in like Amazon Germany or something,
yeah,
like my German followers were going crazy. There was one where I think it was the Dragon Ball box set,
mm-hmm.
which went on sale on Amazon for like 10 euros, but it was only for people in Belgium and the Netherlands. So
Wow,
for like the 0.02% of people who follow me from the Belgium and Netherlands, they were going crazy. It was like absolutely, and it was legit too. So
yeah,
they copped that box set for
wow,
like 10 euros. So that was crazy.
wow,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah, no, I couldn't believe it. And even more recently, for some backstory,
mm-hmm.
Hot Topic, as we all know, different retailers are starting to now sell manga. So you may have seen like news or posts about, oh, Walmart's now selling manga, or oh, Target's selling
Yeah,
manga now. A player into the game that not too many people talk about is Hot Topic. So
mm-hmm.
if you remember from way back then, for anyone who was following, but for those that don't, there was a time where uh, Hot Topic, for whatever reason, put the Full Metal Alchemist Full Metal editions. Mind you,
Mm,
MSRP was like uh 10 like 19.99, so $20 a
yeah,
book.
yeah,
Hot Topic put them on for like I think it was either 5 or $10 a pop. And
wow,
that was like, yeah, and everyone was like, "Bro, what? Ain't no way." Like
yeah,
that was crazy. And so fast forward to recently, I was about to go to bed
mm-hmm.
until I saw another resource y'all should probably follow is r/manga deals. I'm not on there too much, but
Yeah,
I browse it every so often, and sometimes they find stuff that I don't. And the kind of the overall theme is if I don't post something, more than likely another page that I shouted out earlier
yeah,
probably posted about it. So it's just like overlap of different people who catch something or who don't catch something,
yeah,
stuff like that. Yeah. And I saw that Hot Topic was doing a clearance sale, but I didn't actually look at the deals. So I'm like,
yeah.
okay, all right, let me go check what Hot Topic's doing. And lo and behold, I think it's still up there right now. Hot Topic is like having a bunch of like clearance manga for like
Mm,
$3 or $4 each. Like let me like I'm gonna have to double check because this
yeah,
is like crazy stuff that was put on clearance. So like Yeah, it's still here. Okay. So as of recording this, it's still there. So stuff like Chainsaw Man Volume 10,
Mm,
9, Black Clover 1 and 28, My Hero Academia 30. They're like $4.79 each to like I think the cheapest I saw is Black Clover 1 for $3.60. When usually
wow.
those go for like $10 each.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know. I need to I have to add them into my rotation of places I check on for deals and stuff cause like you said the emergence of more places having manga shelves and stuff whatever has been very awesome to see and especially I noticed like with Target and Walmart pretty much everything on the shelf automatically has like a 20% off sticker or whatever just
Yeah.
boop right there just brand new. Oh, this manga just came out, 20% off.
Yeah. No,
so
absolutely.
so yeah, that's definitely been fun just seeing more places get into it. I wouldn't be surprised if that continues to go and to happen. Because what was the other one? I'm trying to think. Well, I don't know how widespread this retail brand is, but hey, do y'all have any stores called Five Below?
Yeah, we do. Yeah,
Okay.
we do.
Yeah, because I've even seen granted I don't go in there as often recently, but the last couple of times I went in there, they even had a little section uh, with some manga and stuff in Five Below as well. So it's like
Yeah.
these companies are taking notice of like, hey, there's money to be made.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Some of these companies are like, man, y'all, we can make hella bank on manga, and next thing you know, you see like full sections dedicated to manga, like how Barnes and Nobles before didn't have that much of a big like spot dedicated to it, and now you see some Barnes and Nobles like taking like full on like aisles full of
Yes.
or even walls of manga
Yes.
because of how over the pandemic and it's just exploded in popularity, and so it's like it's crazy.
Yeah. As somebody who has recently, within the last year and since I've been doing the podcast, gotten into the physical collecting aspect of manga and stuff, I would be curious to go back and see how much the shelves and stuff has changed because of course I'm in Barnes and Nobles and stuff like that all the time, so I know what it looks like now. But I will be curious, pre-pandemic, pre 2020, to see what some of those sections and stuff looks like back at those times in comparison. Because I know, like you said, from people who have been going there for years and stuff, whatever, how much they talk about how much it's grown and stuff. But yeah, and even kind of expanding on that, I have really been enjoying just the wave of even just more stuff getting licensed lately because it feels like it is just like and I said this on a couple of podcast episodes ago, but it feels like especially this year in 2022, it has just been like manga readers' dream of
Oh yeah.
like everything that if you've had something on your wish list for years of like, man, I wish somebody would pick up this series, or I wish somebody would license it, I wish somebody would bring it over here or whatever. Um, it's happening like every day, every week, something new got officially picked up or whatever and is coming over. Matter of fact, today I saw I can't remember who the publisher was, but somebody picked up the license for March Comes In Like a Lion manga.
I I think that was Denpa who did. Let me see.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, yeah, Dimpa.
Yeah. Yep.
And so that's a series where I've enjoyed the anime and I loved watching when the couple seasons that came out some years ago, and that manga's been going probably at least a decade. Yeah, 'cause I think it was like 2009. I saw, 'cause I looked at it earlier. But the fact that, like, hey, all these years later, it's finally gonna be coming over here, and just so many other stuff. I just feel like it's like a renaissance period of sorts, with everything across the board, from, like I said, manga stuff getting picked up, even with some stuff getting an anime, cause what was it, one example that at least just coming to mind was um Ragna Crimson.
Yeah.
uh that I think we're maybe like 5 or 6 volumes in now, but that just started within like the last year or whatever, coming over. And then that also has an anime coming next year. I think, what was it, that a Chained Soldier is another
Yeah.
one I saw,
Yeah. No,
where
that one's also getting. Yeah.
yeah,
I didn't.
where
I didn't retweet it, but no, I saw it, and I'm like,
yeah,
dang, that one was like been a while. I know another one was Shangri-La Frontier. I know we're
yes,
just now getting. Yeah, I
yes,
know that one was your favorite.
yes,
That
yes,
when I listened to that episode, I'm like, oh yeah, this guy really likes this one. I'm gonna pick it up when it comes out. And yeah,
yeah,
we're just now getting volume 1 physically, and the
yes.
anime's coming out not
Next
too long.
year,
Yeah,
yes.
next year. Yeah.
Yeah, it is wild, just to kind of, and it just creates this excitement of stuff, whatever, because it is. I enjoy sometimes, even just as an observer, of seeing other people get excited for a series. People that are like, man, I've been reading this online for years, hoping and praying for somebody to pick it up, and now more people across the world will get to experience whatever series, people have been loving and stuff. Now more people will get a chance to love and to enjoy this. Which, one of them I'll touch on, and we can kind of circle back to this stuff later on. But in regards to something that I've been reading this weekend, and more than likely by the time this episode posts, I probably will have done a review or a few reviews over this series. But there is a manga that I had got early access to, called "The Beginning After the End." Now I'm trying to think. I think it might be classified as a webtoon or web comic. It definitely is. I don't have to think about it, just because of the layout of it. It's full color, all that jazz. Well, volume 1 is just now coming out. Like I said, by the time y'all see this, volume 1 came out on August 1st. So,
Okay. Yeah.
but so yeah, so like I said, I went to one of those review sites, got early access to it. Shout out to them for giving me access to it. And I read the first volume last night, which was 8 chapters. It was not enough. It was enough. It was enough to tease you, but it was like there's not even a date for a volume 2. I can't wait, so I had to go and find it. I had to go and read more. And as of this moment, I just finished chapter 56, which in webtoon sense, that would be the end of season 2 for the series, for the webcomic and stuff.
Yeah.
I fell in love with it, so I guess to kind of give y'all a little bit of a background on it. So the story follows the main character, whose name is King Gray. So he's a king of a kingdom, yada yada yada. He ends up dying and gets reincarnated into the past, the past of a different world, where kind of like I guess in a sense, kind of like a jobless reincarnation, in the sense to where the character starts off as a baby, so you're following him from birth or whatever. But he of course, still retains all of his knowledge and stuff. And so when he was a king, he was a very mighty warrior, had top notch sword skills and stuff, whatever. But in this world, there is also this element of magic. And so the continent that this story takes place on, it is the human kingdom, there's an elf kingdom, and there's a dwarf kingdom. And so, long story short, he's growing up or whatever, and because he's still, he's a freaking adult in this baby's mind, he is able to kind of like start to grasp certain things early on. So whereas in his previous life they had ki, where in this world they have mana. So he's able to kind of like take similar concepts and use that to his advantage as far as like helping him grow and learn. And basically in this world, most people don't begin to awaken whatever their innate ability, magic, whatever, until they're like mid-teens. Well, he awakens his ability when he's 3 years old, and his dad is a pretty solid fighter. His mom, she has an affinity for healing magic, but he just immediately starts to display this strong affinity for having mana and magic and all this stuff, whatever. And it is just a very exciting story just because of the fact of like you see him start to use all these various magical elements and stuff and displaying these crazy sword fighting skills and stuff at an early age. And so you get to follow him on his life over the course of some years. And so that is like what I got hooked on this weekend, to where, like I said, I wanted to at least read volume one, and like I said, talk about that for when it releases next. Well, like I said, next week at the time of us recording. But I fell so in love with it to where I was like, I can't stop. I need to keep going, and it has just been just a fantastic read. Like I said, just from the action and the mystery of the world, and of course you know me, I am a family man, so anytime we have a wholesome family in a story, which a lot of series we don't get that, it's a lot of abandoned kids or orphans or whatever. And so when we have a character who is living with both his mother and father, and they are both good people, then that's just an added cherry on top for me. So, but yeah, that has been what I've been engrossed in reading this weekend. And so, like I said, don't be surprised if y'all see a video or two by the time this episode posts of me talking about it and stuff, because it has me hooked. But I highly recommend y'all pick that up, and if y'all do pick it up, and once you read that first volume, those 8 chapters, you will see what I mean, that hey, I need more. So
Honestly, like, as you were see, I call this the dad needs to talk effect, where he talks about something and then you're like, damn, dude, I should probably pre-order this. As I told, like, literally, like, as you were talking about it, I'm like, damn, I should probably pre-order this. It's right now, it's on sale on Amazon US for $18. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna pick it up. I'm just gonna add it to my cart and just throw some money on Yen Press's way
yes,
to pick it up. But yeah.
So for you, what has been some stuff that has gotten your attention lately, whether it be manga, anime, whatever? What has been on your plate recently?
Okay, I got you. So what I have been reading, and to touch on like your license thing a little bit, if there's a manga, and this is something I'm surprised not too many people know about,
Mm-hmm.
if there's a manga that you haven't like seen get an English release yet, you can actually fill out some surveys
Yep.
to let people, like, to let these publishers know, hey, I want to see you guys licenses. So I know everyone knows the Seven Seas licensing survey. That
Yep.
one's a huge one everyone knows about. Shout out to the homie Winter Venom, because that guy somehow found the Viz Media license request form.
Mm,
So if there's a title that you want to see Viz Media license, definitely fill that
yeah.
out. That's another one.
Mm,
I know Starfruit Books has one.
yeah.
They're another smaller publisher that has one. And I believe that's all the three that I'm aware of at the moment.
Yeah.
But definitely, please use those resources if you want to see a manga that you want to see get like released in English officially,
Yep.
because they're looking for more stuff to license. So please let them know.
Yeah. And you know, and kind of like what I mentioned earlier is like, don't it doesn't matter how recent or how old it is. It never hurts to shoot your shot because, like I said, all these years later, March comes in like a lion. You know, is coming over here, and like I said, that's been going for freaking over 10 years, and stuff. So it is never too late, um, you know, to see something get picked up and to get licensed. So definitely.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So let's get into what I've been reading
Hmm.
recently. So, this one's I would say this one's pretty underrated. Honestly, it's kind of got buried by some of the releases. I think it released late July, I think, but it is Box of Light by Saiko Erisawa. Hey,
Yep.
see, there you go. That one's
Yeah, I haven't
that.
read it yet, but it is high priority on my list because from the moment I saw um uh when Seven Seas does their kind of like weekly threads of like, hey, here's what's coming up or here's what we licensed or whatever. From the moment I saw this beautiful cover
Yeah, that's what got me too.
and then I read the description too, I was like, okay, put a pin in that. I need to get my hands on that. So okay, so you've already started reading it a little bit.
Yeah, so I actually did finish it, and definitely like I would 100% recommend it.
Yeah.
100%. Like, if you are a fan of the anime Death Parade, where it's sort of like
Mm,
this, like, very
yes.
nice, relaxed, chill environment,
Yeah.
something very chill to watch, but also it kind of talks about stuff about, like, life and death, and sort of like how people should treat that sort of topic in, you know,
Yeah.
as gracefully as possible. Box of Light definitely hits on those points as well too,
Mm-hmm.
and I immediately fell in love with like the art, the way it handles each person's journey through that place between life and death,
Mm-hmm.
and seeing how our cast of character helps them guide along to whichever side they think is right. So
Yeah. And I'm glad that you brought up that comparison because until you actually said it, that Death Parade is definitely even without me having read it yet, just off of the first line on the back of the book, and that's all I'm gonna read for y'all. The first line on the back of the book is a quiet convenience store at the crossroads between life and death. How could that not get your interest?
yeah,
But that definitely fits with like what you just described with Death Parade, which if anybody hasn't seen that, go watch it.
yeah, no, definitely watch it. It's definitely another one of those shows that it's very chill and relaxed. Sure, it talks about themes about death and life and all that stuff, but it is something that's honestly different. Like if you're looking for something different,
Mm-hmm.
watch Death Parade, and then like a week or two later, once you've like read through like your typical manga that you want to go through, come back and read A Box of Light, because it is good.
Yeah,
Really
yeah.
good.
Sorry if I people that's watching the video, I just gave a O face because as we're talking, I was looking through Yen Press's upcoming releases, and I just saw that another recent favorite of mine. I suppose I don't have it within arm's reach, but Lost Lad London. I just saw.
Oh my bro, you were the no, okay. I what was it? I listened to that and I was like, damn, okay, this kind of sounds interesting. I sort of like, I'm a huge fan of mystery and everything, and it's not often that we see, people of color on the in like centered in a manga like
Yeah.
as much as such as this one, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go pick it up and read what it's about, and you know what, I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
I like the mystery.
Yeah. I just saw Volume 2 is coming out at the end of August. So,
Oh no, all of them.
anybody,
Yeah.
yeah, anybody that if y'all enjoyed um that first volume, just know, hey, Volume 2 isn't too far away. So,
No, dude, like all of August is gonna be such a packed month. Like we got so many releases from like Viz Media, Yen Press. Like all the publishers have at least something good coming out at least once every week, and it's just like
yeah,
it's crazy.
yeah. So what else you been getting into?
Well, you can thank again the homies over at Chitin Books. I know they sent it out to me and asked me to break the street date for their own book, but the Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting.
Yes,
That one's the
yes, 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 yes.
yeah. So it's Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting, by Sukiya and translated by Jenny McKean. My goodness, who would have thought that the Way of the House Husband would spark a subgenre of manga? Who would have thought about that?
Yes. So, have you checked out any of the anime yet, or just the
Yeah.
manga? Okay.
No, I've done both because I kind of wanted to. I figured like if Kaiton's sending me all this stuff about the Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting,
Yeah.
it kind of be a little bit of a disservice not to watch the anime and read the manga. So I've
Yeah.
done both, and I definitely say that the adaptation is really good.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, for me, I personally prefer manga over anime, but its adaptation is really well done, and the story that's told within the Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting is really well told too. So.
Yeah. It has been kind of a it has just been just a nice pleasant series for me. Whenever I watch each of the episodes and stuff, just it has that very nice mesh between the cool action stuff, whatever that I forgot his name, but the main Yakuza guy does. But then it also has these like very sweet and wholesome moments that he has between the daughter and even all of the family stuff in general. Is very well told, and so it is just like a very nice, um, comforting watch. I guess is the best way to kind of put it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like seeing, I think his name was Toru, but seeing him sort of like act as sort of like a father figure role to the daughter of a
Yeah,
crime family who doesn't often see their dad.
yeah,
Honestly, that was pretty touching. And it's sort of like this dynamic where you see this like rough guy who's only seen nothing but like violence and stuff to have to show more empathy.
yeah.
So that sort of dynamic where he has to show more empathy to the daughter of the boss,
Hmm.
and the daughter in response to that becomes more open with what she's going through and everything. That's definitely something that was really well done,
Yeah.
and it translates well both no matter if you read it or you watch it. It's really good.
Yep. Yep. So that gets a double endorsement from both Dad Needs to Talk and Manga Alerts.
Telling you, we're on the same wavelength with this sort of stuff, dude. Like, I was honestly kind of shocked that you had Box of Light because I'm like, man, what's a manga that no one's ever like on my page has talked about? And Box of Light's one I don't see talked about on
Yep.
all.
Yep. And you know me, as you've been
Oh yeah,
following and listening to me for a while, that is something that I kind of I didn't like. Of course, when I first started out doing this stuff, whatever, it wasn't necessarily for this purpose, but along the way, I have found pride in finding those little hidden gems to where I'm like, no, nobody is talking about whatever series and stuff. And that is why I love, like I said, and I appreciate these companies like Gen Press or Seven Seas or whoever doing those updates and stuff of like, hey, here's every Wednesday we're announcing all of our new licenses and stuff, whatever, and I make sure to take note and stuff, whatever. Like, okay, that looks interesting. I'm gonna put a pin in that, and whenever it comes out, months or a year later, I'm gonna make sure to get to it. But that has definitely been very fun for me. And sometimes like kind of eye opening in a sense because while I know sometimes people might feel like being a content creator in this space, and I'll just mainly speak on manga coverage or whatever. Some people might think like, okay, it's people that's been doing manga reviews and coverage for over a decade on YouTube or whatever platform. There's no room for me. There's no room for nobody else. But in my first year of doing this, I have quickly found out that there is always room for more people just because there's just so many series that there's no way that one person or one group of people can cover everything. And so the fact that and I've talked about this before on my podcast and stuff like that, but the fact that like there are certain series to where when you do a Google search or you search on YouTube and either I'm the only person or I'm one of very few people that come up or whatever, that's wild.
Yeah, no, it's definitely crazy. Like another good example is the homie Colleen who runs Colleen Manga Rex,
Yep.
especially for the show like all this shoujo manga that often doesn't get talked about on these social media platforms. Because don't get me wrong, I absolutely love shonen, seinen, shoujo, and josei, but oftentimes like shoujo manga don't often get as talked about
Yep.
as some of the other demographics that are out there. And so seeing someone whose pride and joy is that demographic and she can go on about like all this different stuff, and even within that there's still, like you said before, there's still manga within that demographic that's not talked about so often.
Yep.
So I draw comparisons to, if you ever talk to me personally, I always draw comparisons to the gaming community, because it's like, okay, sure, you got all these big names playing all these like big games and everything, but there's always room for someone to go and find the smaller games that no one ever talks about, because so many games are being released on a daily basis. Now,
Yep.
manga isn't there yet, but there's so many different like titles being released each different week. I often get overshadowed like Box of Light, or I guess to an extent the Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting, but that
Yep.
got an anime, so I know that one's getting a lot more popular. I think earlier I saw Kaiten Books, like whoever the social media person was, standing like a Barnes and Nobles and saw lots of people go after it and were very shocked
Yep.
by like lots of people buying it.
Yep.
But yeah, there's always room for someone. So if you are looking into it or have like the thought of it, I say the worst thing you could do is just not try it.
Yep.
Just try it and see what happens. You'd be surprised. Like going back to my little history here, I was doing it until the homie Midnight Roboto, who was already doing it, picked me up and said, "Hey man, just keep doing what you're doing."
Yep.
Then next thing you know, I'm here on this podcast, my first podcast with someone who I've been listening to for a while. People who I've been like reading and watching for like the longest time started following me now. I
Yep.
know I've had some mangaka come up to me and either like thank me for highlighting their work or retweeting my posts, which that's always a really cool moment. I think my friend Pirate Chest, he tweeted it about Rooster Fighter, and the mangaka of Rooster Fighter actually like commented and
Yes.
like thanked him for highlighting it. I'm like, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, that
That's
that
crazy.
that stuff is very dope, and it's funny that you mentioned the Rooster Fighter mangaka because he's like a couple of times I've talked about it too. Because when I did my review for it a couple of weeks back or whatever,
Yeah.
it was wild that he happened to like it, and same thing with I think the creator of my boss, Lord, my boss. I always get tongue tied on. Oh, thank you for having stuff easy access. I'm a wolf, but my boss is a sheep. Uh,
Oh yeah, yeah. I like
that
that one. Yeah.
that creator likes my post too, whatever, and it's just like very awesome the fact that like even though there might be language barriers, between us online, it is still cool that you know that appreciation can be shared regardless of what language we speak, because of the fact of like you just said, it's like, hey, nobody else is really talking about this, so I'm pretty sure when these mangaka and various creators see a post with their series, they're like, wow, somebody on the other side of the world, you know, is highlighting my work. Awesome. So
Yeah, no,
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
there's a place for there's a place for this community, no matter, who you are, what you are, who you identify as, like there's a place for you, dog. We want you. We want to
Yes.
see you. We want to
Yes.
see you succeed.
Yes, and going back real quick to Colleen's Manga Rex, because she was the first person that came to mind when we started talking about that, and I had showed her stuff on the video real quick. But just for those who might be interested, her Twitter account is at manga underscore nostalgic. Uh, and like Raphael said, on YouTube it's Colleen's Manga Rex. Uh, but she's also been somebody that's been fascinating. Watch the growth that she's had as well, because
Oh
she
yeah.
like because I'm pretty sure I think she's had a YouTube for a little while, but
Yeah.
she kind of, I guess, like kind of like made that kind of pivot and like really dug into it deep this year, and just like watching like her growth and her channel's growth and stuff since the beginning of this year uh, has been super wild to follow as well. Oops, and stuff. So, but yeah, yeah, lots of great people to follow and stuff. So, let me see. Hold on. Sorry, I'm looking at her page. Yeah, 5 months ago is when she kind of made that jump, and yeah, went from I can't remember what she was at the time, but I know for sure she was under double digits, subscriber wise.
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
let me see.
and now she's
Um
sitting at 18.7K. So
yep.
yeah, so yeah, so shout out to Colleen and all the work that she is doing over there. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
so what else you been into? You know, like you said, we're on the same wavelength with certain things and stuff. So I like
Yeah.
what you've been shouting out.
Yeah, no, yeah, no. Came from you. But yeah. So as far as what I've been watching this season, because yes, I do. This was the one season that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to keep up with some of the stuff this
Yeah,
season. Uh, Call of the Night, that one,
yeah,
that was a good one. I've been keeping up with that one because I really liked the manga when it came out. I wasn't really sold on the first volume, and I'll admit there are some like manga series where I'm not too particularly sold on like the first volume.
yeah,
But then when I bought volume 2 onward, I'm like, holy crap, this is great. So I
yeah.
know Call the Night, that was one of them,
Mm-hmm.
and Undead Unluck, that was another one too that I was like, I wasn't too sure about. But then after like the organizations formed and they were going around and the different power system came out,
Yes.
yeah, I was hooked. I was absolutely hooked with that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I sorry. Yeah, I'm on
No,
the
you're good.
same. I'm on the same page with you with both of those, cause yeah. Same thing with me. Yeah, Call of the Night was just kind of like this is okay, and then yeah, like you said, after that, it's it picked up from there, and the anime for it, they have just done, they have done such a great job of bringing the feeling I felt watching it to life in the anime, because it, it, sometimes it is almost ridiculous how great this show looks.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm telling like if you have an OLED screen, whether it be your phone or TV, please watch it on that. Like I'm telling you, like those
Yeah.
colors that they use for them backgrounds, like yeah.
Yes, the colors and then the music and soundtrack that they, man, it the it is just a beautiful 1-2 punch of talk about a show with atmosphere and vibes. the
Yeah.
Call of the Night would be in the dictionary next to anime with vibes. Cause yeah, the visual aesthetic and the music, it is just like it's like yeah, this is a world I would love to just be chilling and hanging out at nighttime. And I talked about it before that like kind of unintentionally, but Call of the Night was a series that I always found myself reading late at night a lot of times. Like I say, it wasn't intentional. It just sometimes I was like, you know what? It's late at night. I want to read something. Call of the Night. And same thing with watching an anime. I prefer to watch it late at night or late evening, whatever, just because it just feels right. Because like I said, just like that vibe and the color palette and stuff, whatever. So, and then, and jumping over to Undead Unluck, that is also another one, like you said. Those, honestly, for me, same thing, probably like those, for sure, it was for sure not until like in the teens, chapter wise,
Yeah.
that it started kind of like to like kind of like come together for me because those other chapters I'm like, this is
No,
weird.
dude. I was not like I'll admit I was not sold on it in the beginning, but then
Yeah,
right when the organization came up and like all the like the power system was explained and their first fight
yeah,
with I forgot which Uma they fought, but that first fight and just seeing the whole the power system at play,
yeah,
yeah, that was really good.
yeah, yeah. That is one that I don't know when because of just because of where the story is currently with the current chapters, but it is on my priority list of series I'm gonna do a discussion on. It's just like I said, like because originally I was wanting to do it back when it hit chapter 100, but life stuff happened and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But with where things are going now, I'm like, okay, is this gonna end soon, or are we about to maybe hit like a second phase, so to speak, with what's going on, being vague,
Yeah.
with it or whatever, because where's about are you at with reading it?
I'm caught up. I'm caught up.
Okay, okay, so then what I'll just say, like speaking vaguely, whatever, the Ragnarok stuff that is going on. Uh,
Yeah.
it is hard to tell. It's like, okay, then maybe this is all going to end in, 10 chapters, or maybe we might be in it for another long haul.
Yeah, no. It's
Depending.
that one's a crazy one.
Yeah, so that's kind of why I've been hesitant on pulling the trigger on doing a discussion on it yet, because I'm like, what, it's too shaky of a ground right now.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But
I
it
agree.
has been a very good read. Especially Undead Unluck has also been one of those series as well, to where I also like it for a binge read, to where sometimes I'll just let some chapters go for weeks, if not months, and then have a good 10, 20 chapters and just
Bro, I'm the same
yeah,
exact way, dog. I've done that with like I did that recently with Spy X Family because don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Spy X Family,
yeah,
but because it releases, I think it's bi-weekly, so like
yeah,
twice a month,
yeah,
I just kind of like let it build up a little bit and then I just honestly just read through and rip through all those like chapters. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm caught up.
yes, yes, yeah. I had I just matter of fact, because a certain mood hit me after I read last week's chapter, which I think that chapter 60, 59. I think 59. Let me look.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think so.
I'm looking at my YouTube real quick, but probably shouldn't be doing too much while I'm streaming. But
Oh,
uh,
whatever.
no, because my internet was chugging trying to load up that page when it normally doesn't chug.
No, okay, all
So
right.
I'm like between streaming for this, I'm recording over
Yeah.
here,
No,
but
okay, all right, I got you.
okay, chapter 65. So I after I read that, the like I said, the most recent chapter at the time of us recording, I had to talk about it because I'm like, this was too good. I gotta just shout out to the void or whatever, and shout out to all the people that's been coming to my YouTube channel and checking out that episode or whatever. Cause I've been having a lot of great discussions and stuff with people in the comments or whatever. But yeah, that is another really good binge reading stuff as well. And I love how uh, I don't know if to say like keeps me guessing is the right phrase, but I just love how they just keep it fresh and keep the surprises coming because without diving into specific stuff, whatever. Um, uh, okay, this is how I can phrase it, whatever. I love how recently we've gotten a stretch of chapters to where we've gotten different combinations of characters interacting with each other.
Yeah.
That is a good way to describe that. So like we got like Anya and the head teacher had a chapter together. Frankie and Bond had a chapter together. We got a fantastic handful of chapters going into Lloyd's backstory.
Yep.
So they've and of course the most recent chapter there was you're focused and what happened at the end of that chapter. It's just like okay, we're getting more stuff. We're getting more uh background and development on these characters because it's like we already love these characters, but them doing these mixed and matched combinations or whatever, it allows us to see other sides of these characters and to see like, oh, okay, I never really thought about what it would be like if Anya was hanging out with the head teacher by herself, or if Frankie and Bond
Yeah. No, absolutely.
and stuff. So, but yeah, I'm right there with you. That is another really good series.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of I'm trying to think. Has there been anything else? I feel like there's something else. Oh well, for myself, I've been still slowly chipping away, reading through Saturn Apartment still.
Okay.
That is continued to be. It is I guess mundane maybe the best word to use for it because it is just a very slow. Hey, we're gonna put you in this world and you're just gonna go through the life of these characters or whatever type of story to where there's no super crazy action sequences or whatever. It is just these characters who are window washers in space.
Hey, I mean that sounds like a really good setup to me.
Yes, and so yeah, so it has just been one. I think I just finished volume 4 yesterday, and so I just started volume 5. So I've crossed the midway point because there's 7 volumes total. Uh,
Yeah.
so I've crossed the midway point through reading that story, and still, like I said, still enjoying it. It's one that um, most times I'll read right as I'm laying down, getting ready to go to bed. Like I said, because of how slow it is. It also kind of helps put me to sleep. Not which sounds bad me describing it that way, but it is perfect for that because of how slow it is. It is like okay, I'm getting a little bit of slow progress with the story, and hey, if I doze off, so be it. But it was good while I was dozing off to it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. No, I get you. No, I feel that 100%.
Yes. So I'm trying to think of. I feel like I've been. I feel like there was something else I had checked out recently. Oh, I started watching Konosuba. Uh,
Oh, did you know?
that show is funny. That show is wild with
Yeah.
some of the stuff. I'm only like I think I just watched maybe like episode 4 or 5, but it's just been like one that I wanted to check out for a while because I've heard people talking about it and stuff. So that's one that's not a currently airing show or whatever that I've just had fun just chipping away at watching it and stuff. Um so circling back to to your account and stuff, I kind of wanted to ask this. Uh, how has it been like balancing staying on top of all of these deals and stuff with your normal life and stuff? Because of course, we've talked before doing this or whatever, but like obviously you do have a
A
regular
life outside.
job and
Yeah,
a life
yeah, yeah. No,
and stuff whatever.
absolutely.
So how has that been?
So okay, I will admit, I was in the workplace that I was at. It was very like open. Like I had lots of downtime for me to be able to do some of this stuff.
Yeah,
So thankfully, I had the privilege to be able to do this.
yeah,
But I'll admit, on days where like it gets pretty hectic at work,
yeah.
honestly, I heavily use the scheduled tweets feature.
Mm,
So what will happen is I'll see either I get tagged in like a post or something, or I see, oh, this manga got restocked today, or oh, such
mm-hmm,
and such sale came out today.
mm-hmm.
I would try my best to cover, like, schedule it out as much as I can
Yeah,
before I have to go get ready, get to work, blah blah blah. And then I am a huge fan of public transit. I know some people might not like public transit, but hey, it's there. And especially trying to commute to big cities, especially with like oil prices now and such,
yes,
I I utilize public transit as much as I can.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, cause,
yeah.
you told me if I remember correctly, you have a pretty is a pretty decent uh time commute.
Yeah, so before I moved to the East Coast, I used to live in the Bay Area,
Mm,
and before, if I was to drive by car, it would be about like a 45-minute drive.
yeah,
But as you probably heard, like, the stereotype, anytime you drive in California, like, you have to make sure you drive in like a specific time, because if you get caught like uh driving at a wrong time, either like everyone's getting home from work, or on, I know, what is it? Sometimes you have people doing some crazy stuff on the Bay Bridge, shutting down the whole bridge, doing some
yeah,
stuff, and you're just stuck there like, really?
yeah.
Like, that's when public transit comes into the day. Sure, it may take a little longer for you
Mm-hmm.
to get there, but for me, hey, I'll take it. And that extra time I use to like pass the time, because again, I'm just sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah,
I use that time to do my posts. So I think I'm able to properly like balance both, my actual personal life
yeah.
with this account. And funny enough, when I was doing the move, because I moved from, like I said before, Bay Area to the East Coast,
Mm-hmm.
I was still like posting with like very little internet, because there would be like complete dead zones and such. And I looked at my analytics on that day, and I think I like dropped like a good half of what I used to post, but my page was still gaining followers. So I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
So even though I'm not posting as much, people are still following me.
yeah,
So I can, like, and I also, that's how I kind of came up with the idea of Follower Friday, sort of as like a day to like mentally like reset myself. Because another thing that people often don't talk about is how mentally taxing being in the content creation space is,
yes,
because you have to come up with not only new ideas for every single video, but also keep up with the trends, keep up with what people are talking about,
yeah,
making sure you're doing everything right, making sure you like everything goes to plan
yep,
for like that 5 to 10 minutes of content. Like, it's so mentally draining, and some people might not like realize, or like might not like fully understand it at first, because they're viewing from the outside.
yeah,
But as someone who is starting to now look into doing stuff outside of just posting deals on Twitter,
yeah,
like for example me being on this podcast,
yeah,
there's a lot of like behind the scenes stuff that's like, man, this is just mentally draining. Like, it's just, man, like, I don't get me wrong, I love what I do,
oh yeah,
but I'll admit there'll be times where I'm like, do I really want to post today? Like, do I really want to, like, do this?
yeah,
And that's where Follow Friday came in, because all I can do is just, just comment, like and retweet people's collections, and it forces me to be positive.
Yeah.
Not saying like I'm not positive, but
Oh
it
yeah.
forces me to, like, compliment as many people as I can, and like inspire them to, be proud of like their one manga collection. Because I've had some people like, oh, I only have like one or two manga volumes in my collection. Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I know not too many people, like, praise that, but I do. Like,
Yeah.
sh- sure, it may not be as crazy or as insane as like some of these other guys who've been collecting for many years and have like full rooms
Yeah.
dedicated to manga,
Yeah.
but it shouldn't be, oh, look how much manga I have. It should be, this is the stuff that I find enjoyment in, and it made such an emotional impact to me that
Yeah.
I wanted to have it in my thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like hosting that thread not only allows me to sort of like mentally reset myself from, like, having to hunt for deals and everything, but it also allows me to sort of like appreciate the fans and just appreciate what I have, and sort of like remind myself why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly. And I myself, like I said, as a observer, I enjoy the follower Fridays because, like you said, a mix of just seeing people just being like, hey, this is what I've got or what I picked up or whatever. But for me, it is also a way to kind of be like, okay, what's out there? What do I maybe need to put on my
Yeah.
radar? Cause it's like, okay, I've seen a couple people, share they have this in their collection, or that they picked up that or whatever. Uh, and so it's also kind of a fun way to, just like you said, just for the community as a whole to kind of come together and kind of, yeah, like you just said, just like share what we're enjoying, what we're loving, and putting each other on to some cool stuff. So, and because I'm scrolling through right now, and I also enjoy people having fun with it as well and being creative with how they're making the post. Where like I'm looking at a post right now where somebody has a Zoro figure sitting on top of their One Piece box set
Yeah.
with some other volumes sitting in front of it, and their cat is in the background.
Yeah.
And so stuff like that is just kind of cool. Just seeing people, just getting just creative and stuff as well. Like, okay, I want to show off these manga, but I want to do it in a fun way, or maybe nope. Here's just a stack of them.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter how you do it. And you probably have caught me do this too. Like, there will be times where people just tag me in posts
Yeah,
of stuff that they found. Like, actually, right now here, I'm about to go ahead and retweet it, since we were talking about like places you wouldn't expect to find manga.
mm-hmm.
I was just tagged in a post where they found manga over in Universal Studios now.
Wow,
In Universal Studios Orlando. I just retweeted it so you can see it. But yeah,
nice.
it's crazy. Like, that's just wild. Like, I remember before, like last time I went to Universal Studios Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, they had nothing. Like, they
Yeah,
had like, your typical Universal Studios properties. They had Back to the Future, Terminator, all this other stuff. But now to look now to see, like, oh crap, they're like, actually, what is it? Let me look at that post that I just retweeted. They have now Bleach volumes,
mm-hmm. Tokyo Ghoul.
Tokyo Ghoul, Boruto, and My Hero Academia. Dude,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. Feel like we've covered a lot. I'm trying to think if I feel like there's something that crossed, maybe it's skipping my mind, or did you have anything else you wanted to talk about that maybe I hadn't brought up, or a question I hadn't asked that you wanted to share or anything?
Uh, Not really. I mean, again, like I said, I'm a completely 100% open book on this sort of stuff. I'm not someone who hides anything. I'm not someone who gatekeeps information.
Yeah.
So um my pretty much my whole goal in this podcast is to, again, to shout some people out there who've, helped me get to where I want to get to.
Mm-hmm.
This is my first podcast, and I'm glad I was able to do it with you, Rob. That's another thing too.
Yeah.
Another thing is letting people know that there is a survey out there that you should probably fill out if you want to see these licenses get official English translations, because
Yes.
as manga gets more popular, some of these companies are actually looking at what people want, and
Yeah.
that's our only way to communicate with them in a civilized manner, right?
Yeah.
To um to what is it? To tell them what we want.
Yeah.
And I say civilized, and I put emphasis on that because I'm not sure if you've seen them or not, but one of the most funniest things that I've ever seen on Twitter was on every single Viz Media post. There's a guy who I personally endorse. He's a guy who comments on every single Viz Media post, telling them to license Kingdom and Oshinoko
Yep.
every single
Yep.
day. I was like, bro, this guy is 100% dedicated to it. And as a joke, I'm like, you know what? Even though Viz Media follows me and I love y'all Viz Media, I kind of want to see this guy succeed, man. If he's putting this much time and effort into doing this, I want to see it come to fruition. And then when Anime Expo dropped, and Yen Press like dropped that massive bombshell that they got Oshinoko
Yep.
license, bro, I was like celebrating. I was telling people how much this man has fought his life every single day on Viz Media's post to like get this stuff licensed,
Yes.
to finally get it. Whew, man, that was great. That was a top 10 Twitter moment in history, bro. Like, that was crazy.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely remember seeing, or not remember, but I do see that guy, yeah, all the freaking time. And yeah, when that one got licensed, it was like a huge W
It was a
for
huge W for
him
him.
and many people, because it's like finally, even though like you said, it didn't happen through the person he was shouting at for months, whatever. But hey, somebody took notice. It was like, hmm, maybe it's coincidence, or it would be funny though if like somebody at who'd you say was, would you say it was Gym Press?
Yeah, and if you want, I can actually tell you how that whole thing happened if you want me to
Yeah,
explain it.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
all right,
I
all
love
right, all
some
right.
some story time.
Some behind the scenes. Okay, all right. So, all right. So I'm gonna paraphrase it,
Yeah,
but and again, I'm no expert in this, so if I do get something wrong, please call me out. Obviously, right? But this is from what I understood.
yeah.
So whenever as we all know, right, all these English publishers and everything are subsidiaries of the Japanese publisher over in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like Shueisha, Shogakukan, I'm trying to think, Kodansha.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think who the one for Yen Press is, but Yen Press has a like the main
Yeah,
person. Yeah.
yeah.
Long story short, that's what it is. So whenever a manga gets enough, like, it's super popular over there, right? Whether
Mm-hmm.
that's through sales, merch, whatever,
Yeah.
right? They will first go to their United States subsidiary and say, "Hey, we have this manga that we think is very super popular.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to license it?"
Mm-hmm.
And they'll either say yay or nay. So if they say yay, then obviously, hands are shaked, papers are signed, business is business, and
Mm-hmm.
then that publisher will go in, translate it, letter it, edit it, do the final touches, making sure everything's good to go,
Mm-hmm.
and it gets published.
Yeah.
Now, if they say no, this is where it gets interesting. So the Japanese publisher will go and just sit on it until someone like makes a bid for it. In which, again, it's like, okay, this guy wants Oshinoko, for example,
Yeah.
right? Viz, do you want to publish this? They'll either say yes or no. So
Yeah.
in this case, Viz said, "Oh no, we don't. Nah, we're not gonna do it. Psh, nah, we don't want it." In which Shuichi's like, "Okay, all right, Gen Press, do you want to do this?" And then obviously, like I said before, hands are shaked, papers are signed, uh, high fives around everywhere, and next thing you know, they're able to get that thing licensed in English. Now, an
Yeah.
interesting one is that maybe people might have known, or I know I've seen some questions about, is Kodansha. Listen, I love Kodansha,
Yeah.
but they can be pretty weird. So the most recent example is Tokyo Revengers. So
Yep.
yeah, that one's a weird one, and I'll again do my best to explain it. So like before, Kodansha is the Japanese publisher, and Kodansha US is the US subsidiary.
Mm-hmm.
So when obviously Tokyo Revengers is such a huge hit in Japan, they went up to Kodansha US and said, "Hey, Kodansha US, we have this license that we think would do really well. Would you like to do it?" They
Mm-hmm.
said yes, but for the digital portion, not the physical, the digital. Now, the reason why is because there's like some old United States law that's still in place now where it's like, oh, you can't produce as many like books or produce as many stuff. Super complicated stuff, but
Yeah.
long story short, there are limitations within the United States that limit publishers how much they can publish.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And one of the ways Kodansha gets around it is by going after the digital license of a work first,
Yeah.
and then if it does super well, then they come back and get the physical. So a good example is Blue Lock. I was on the Kodansha hate train for the longest time because I absolutely love Blue Lock, and I
Yeah.
was mad that like Kodansha US was not was not printing that book for like
Yeah.
the longest time. And I think it was like Japan was at I think volume 13. Digitally we were at 7, but there was
Mm-hmm.
no physical print, and we
Yeah.
just finally got one like what, a month or two ago.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. Got my copy here.
yeah, I do too somewhere. But so in this case, with Tokyo Revengers, they did a digital,
Mm-hmm.
but they were still trying to like figure out if Tokyo Revengers would do well in the United States. So they got the like I said, they got the digital, but they
Yeah.
left the physical completely open for anyone to take it. Then that's where our underdog Seven Seas shows up and is like, "Hey, we want to print this because people were asking us to print this.
Yep.
Can we print this?" And again, Kodansha went up to Kodansha US and asked, "Okay, do you want to print this?" And they were like, "Nope, we don't want it." And Seven Seas went ahead and scooped it up, and well, here we are with Tokyo Revengers omnibus now.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, like I want to personally thank whoever was on the lettering team and everything, because if you looked at the way the lettering is on the Kodansha version versus
Mm-hmm.
the Seven Seas version,
Mm-hmm.
it is so much clearer.
Mm.
Like I can actually read it. So in the very first panel, you see Takemichi being a lazy bum in his like apartment, right?
Yeah.
And there's a bit of text on the side, and
Mm-hmm.
I kid you not, because of the way the building is like drawn, and whoever at Kodansha decided to make the lettering that font, you
Mm-hmm.
can't see what was said. Like you straight up can't. I was like, oh my god, it's like looking at very contrasting like colors on like a PowerPoint presentation where
Yeah.
you're just like, I can't see anything. Like who decides to put a use red font on purple background, like
Oh
that sort of
no.
stuff. Yeah, crazy. So when Seven Seas picked it up, thank you to whoever the letterer was, because they made it so much clearer now. It's so
Yeah.
much easier to read, and I was able to get into it finally. I mean, I haven't seen the anime yet, but I read the manga for that one, and I actually liked it, so I like it. So yeah,
Yeah. 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 That is yeah, that is definitely one of those legendary stories, like you said, of like somebody sleeping at the wheel and somebody else came in and scooped it up. I saw, I don't know if you saw this story too. Maybe I think it was at Anime Expo a month ago or whatever,
yeah,
but there was a it was during the Dark Horse panel
yeah,
where they were talking about just various stories or whatever. And one of the stories that they talked about of like missed opportunities or whatever was that they missed getting Attack on Titan,
yeah.
because at the time somebody was like, this new thing I probably don't, basically somebody didn't have faith that I don't know what that really is. We'll pass on it, and now it's one of the biggest phenomenons in freaking history. and
Yeah.
stuff. So it's just kind of funny, just like like stories like that. Who knows how often they happen, and like you said, like with just different series. Like, okay, one person is doing it digitally, why didn't you do it physically, or whatever the case may be. It is all this stuff is just interesting. Just trying to find out a little bit of like the behind the scenes
Yeah.
of who dropped the ball.
Yeah, no, it's pretty interesting that you mentioned the Dark Horse thing because at the time, Dark Horse manga was like so small that like
Hmm.
they straight up didn't have the resources to pick up. I think I saw that same thread too,
Yeah,
and they mentioned it was Rosa Versailles and Attack on Titan.
yeah,
But then again, Dark Horse being Dark Horse, they're a comic book company first, not a manga publisher.
yeah,
So they didn't really allocate that much resources to manga. And they still kind of don't
yeah,
really, but
yeah,
they're slowly but surely getting better at it. But
yeah,
at the time, they just straight up didn't have the resources to take on Attack on Titan. So they said, okay, you know what? We'll we'll pass it. We'll pass on it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
but yeah, again, not too many people know about it. And
Hmm.
that's what another thing I'm very privileged to know. And that's another thing too. People should probably know this sort of stuff, I feel like,
Yeah,
because there's many stories beyond what's on our shelves here. But oftentimes we take that stuff for granted. Like we don't know the behind the scenes of how, like, for example, the Tokyo Revenger story,
yeah,
or how Yen Press took up Oshinoko and Honey Lemon Soda.
yeah,
Stuff like that doesn't often get talked about. And um I mean, I think it should be talked about more, but nowadays it doesn't, because that gets kind of like drowned out by oh, um this is my favorite manga. If you don't like this manga, then blah blah blah, or stuff like that.
yeah,
That's what I've seen happen. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. And I want to I want to give a shout out to another account real quick as far as like
Go for it.
helpful resources. Don't know if if I'm gonna pronounce it right, but Manga Mogura.
Manga Mangura? Yeah.
Yeah, and shout out to whoever's behind that account. They just crossed 100K today, followers. But
Yeah.
that has been like another big resource for me on series that don't get a lot of attention because either they haven't been licensed yet or whatever the case may be or whatever. Because that's how I found uh, My Home Hero. I think I probably found Shangri-La Frontier through them as well, and so many other series that I'm like I've never seen or heard of this, and so checking their account is literally part of like my daily routine. So every day when I get on Twitter, um, I go on the account and I'll scroll back to the last post I remember seeing the day before or earlier in the day, whatever, and I'll just scroll through and just just to glance and see, okay, well, whatever they might have been talking about. So definitely shout out to whoever's behind that account. 'Cause like I said, that has been like a very big helpful resource
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep.
for me. And sorry, sometimes I was gonna mention it real quick
Yeah, go for it.
because kind of talking about like on the sense of like sometimes companies waiting for stuff to kind of like jump up in popularity or whatever. It has just been fascinating because even what was it like back in May when they did the kind of like mid-year manga sales and stuff,
Yeah.
and even just seeing how much stuff has shifted around in just 6 months from when they did the top selling manga of 2021 to even now, and some stuff that's like moved around. There's a handful of stuff that moved up to the top 10 that wasn't even in the top 10 last year. Which some of it was a mix of stuff getting anime or anime announcements, like My Dress Up Darling moved up to number 9, Blue Lock is at number 10, and Spy Family is number 3,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And what was the other one? It's some mystery one that was like number 6. That just got announced for coming out in English. Mystery something. I can't remember the name of it. But anywho, the point is, yeah, it's just fascinating just seeing like what we talked about earlier, just like this like constant fluctuation of just new stuff getting manga announcements and actually speaking of My Home Hero, I wouldn't be surprised if that one gets a English announcement soon because that's one of the rare cases where they announced that it's getting an anime
Yeah.
before there's even a physical English release for it. So I wouldn't be surprised if that one gets announced sometime soon or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's all just fascinating and like I said, you were definitely one of the people, like I said, that are a much appreciated resource and much needed in the community for bringing attention to these series either as they're getting announced or as they're going on sale, coming back in stock, etc., etc. So I definitely gotta give you a big shout out as well as all the people that you've mentioned throughout this
Yeah.
podcast along the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, definitely. Like if you followed me for a while, you've definitely like noticed a big shift in like what I do. Because before I would just do only like manga deals and restocks. Now I'm like in a mix of like everything now. Because I do if there's an anime announcement, I'll more than likely tweet about it. If there's like I think recently I've been starting to do statue prototypes. So if there's like a statue prototype that's out there in the wild,
Yeah,
I'm gonna post about it. If there's a anime announcement for a manga, I'm gonna be there too. If
yeah,
there's a anime merch or something, I'm gonna be there. Anime figures that's on sale, I'm gonna be like. There's a whole lot of stuff that like I'm now starting to get into.
yeah,
That I guess it's a very healthy evolution because for me, don't get me wrong, I don't mind people who do things like just one thing all the time, and that's great.
yeah,
But for me, I get bored like pretty easily doing the same thing over and over and over again,
yeah,
and I kind of want to do different things on top of what I'm doing. So again, that's why I'm very glad to be presented the opportunity to do this podcast because it's something different that I
yeah,
kind of want to challenge myself on to see if I sound like an idiot on the mic or something. But it's something different and something that like to try and kind of get into. And if I like it, which I really do,
yeah.
who knows? Maybe I might come back again as another guest
Oh yeah,
or
oh yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
oh yeah, for sure. And there was one other thing I was going to mention.
Yeah.
See if my brain circles back around.
No, you're good.
uh, shoot, I'm trying to think because you was talking about branching out, doing other stuff.
Yeah.
I
Branching out,
just
doing
thought,
other stuff, uh, covering.
oh, I
Yeah.
know what it is. Because speaking of inside baseball, if you ever get a contact or connection, whatever, see if maybe you can investigate and find out what is going on with Crunchyroll manga.
I will add that to my list because this is the first I heard. Okay. Give me a rundown. What's going on over there? What's going on?
Well, more so, they are just confusing to me
Okay.
because for one, myself included, and a lot of people, or whatever, a lot of people forget that if you have a Crunchyroll subscription, you have automatic access to the manga side of things. So for one, they don't really ever, they barely promote it or whatever in general. And two, with the way that they post some of their manga stuff on there, whatever, I don't know if it's a mix between licensing stuff or what. I'm pretty sure that probably plays a part of it or whatever. But it's like, they might have like a couple of the first few chapters or something, then there's like a 30 chapter gap, and then it's like recent stuff, and then a recent one that hurt my heart. And like I said, don't know if it's a licensing thing or what happened, but they took Shangri-La Frontier off of the app.
Oh, yeah. So I guess I could kind of speak on it because this happened with another
Mm-hmm.
manga streaming app. I forgot I shouldn't probably forget what it's called, but there's another one that just recently got super popular.
Yeah.
They just lost all of their like Hidansha uh,
Mm,
licenses on there.
yeah.
And the current theory slash rumor is that because of how well the Shonen Jump like app is and
Yeah.
how many people absolutely love Manga Plus,
Yeah.
other publishers are now starting to copy that sort of formula and
Yeah.
style for their own thing, because it's like, hey, if Viz Media can do it, or excuse me, not Viz Media, Shueisha can do it,
Yeah.
why can't we? It's sort of like how Netflix used to be this like all-in-one like thing for everything,
Yeah.
and then now everyone has a subscription service.
Yeah.
I think the same thing's going to happen here, where um you have all these different spots and places for manga that's like this one big old hub,
Yeah.
but as time moves on, each publisher is going to have their own thing.
Yeah.
But I will say that I do want to, even though I like partner with these companies and different publishers and everything,
Yeah.
I can still be very critical
Oh
about
yeah.
it too.
Yeah.
So for sure, I want to 100% give Crunchyroll some flack for not really pushing it or not really mentioning it. Because I'll be honest, I didn't even I kind of knew about it, but I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know it affected Crunchyroll as much as it did
Yeah.
until you mentioned it, and I'm like, dang, what? And again, it's like I I didn't know. Like, well, I'm looking at it right now, and the only announcement that I see was
Mm-hmm.
from like January 15th of 2015,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. That. Yeah. Cause yeah. Even yeah. Yeah. That's another thing. Like they're like the actual Twitter account for that side of things. Yeah. It's like they don't even touch it anymore and stuff. But yeah. But the weird thing like with Shangri-La Frontier, like I said, like for me personally, like why I kind of rubbed me in a weird way was because one, I found the series recently, fell in love with it or whatever, and I did my review and discussion for it like a few weeks ago or maybe a month ago at this point or whatever, whenever it was. And in my discussion, I'm talking about like, hey, you can read at least some parts of it or whatever here, and now that's completely gone. So even and the funny thing is like even if you search for on Google Shangri-La Frontier Crunchyroll, you know the the link and stuff will still pop up, but then when you click on it, it just goes to like a 404 page, doesn't exist thing anymore, whatever. And so, of course, like you said, like with these different companies having maybe trying to do their own thing or whatever. But I also this kind of goes back to like what we talked about at the beginning of this discussion was transparency, because like nobody can find any news and information as far as like somebody being like, hey, we got to remove it because of XYZ. It's just somebody just one day went to go read or look at the chapters and just saw the 404 page missing thing or whatever. And it's like, what happened? And, like we said, like, yes, volume one is coming out in English very soon in the coming months. And there's an anime coming next year. So, of course, the timing of it seems like okay, you might can maybe through context clues put some stuff of potential reasons of why this period happened or whatever, but it still just sucks and stuff. So, but because what was another one that I read the whole series of on there uh is Inside Mari.
okay.
I happened to read that like I said, the whole series from chapter one to the final chapter, it's all on there. But like I said, I just found out about it because I just happened to one remembered that, oh yeah, I have access to this thing. Well, let me just browse through and see what's on here, because even the manga for To Your Eternity is on there. Stuff like that. So, but anywho, just one of those just mysteries of like this thing is there that millions of people have access to that never even know that they have access to it or whatever. And even like I said, those of us that might read it from time to time, it's like, okay, y'all aren't consistent. It's like, okay, stuff is there, it's not there, chapters missing. So who
Yeah,
knows?
like,
But
yeah, no, like I 100, like, don't get me wrong, um I 100% agree with you on that. Like,
yeah.
everyone, like, I don't sure, I have done collabs with like Viz Media, Kites and everything,
Mm-hmm.
but as a whole, like community wise and like just manga wise, everyone I think needs to be a little bit more transparent. A really good example is, you might have followed this up, but the whole summertime rendering hardcover situation. So I'll break it down. I see the disappointment in your face, but let me break it down. So
Yeah.
summertime rendering originally was on Manga Plus, so owned by Shueisha,
Yeah.
and it used to be all on there for free.
Mm-hmm.
And then Udon Entertainment picked up the license, so of course you can't read it on there anymore. Only like the first three and the last three chapters.
Yeah.
But so they got it, which no issues, no problems there. But here's where it gets interesting. So they announced a paperback, which most publishers do,
Mm-hmm.
and a hardcover.
Mm-hmm.
So the paperbacks came out, no issues, no problems.
Yeah.
But then the hardcovers, if I remember correctly, they just never came out. And then everyone started tagging Udon like, hey, what happened? And then people started noticing the date getting pushed back and all that other stuff. People got upset. And then Udon made a blog post telling, oh, we had some issues at the printer, which, okay, that's fine. That's great. Glad to know. And it will come out the first week of July. Great. Okay, first week of July. Perfect. So then, first week of July came and went. Nothing.
Yeah.
No word, no nothing. Then people started asking again. And again, no word, no nothing.
Yeah.
And they were like completely dead silent on what happened. And it's even funnier too, because a box set of volumes 1, 2, and 3 of the paperbacks were coming out also in the middle of July, and people were like, there's no way this box set would come out before the hardcovers. And it did. And everyone was really mad. And I'll be honest, I bought that box set because I'm like, I'm not waiting for these hardcovers. And I'm
Yeah.
still kind of disappointed in that box set, because it's not really even a box set. It's more of a slipcover case for all three.
Mm.
And if you've seen my thread about it, it's like comparing it. I would say the comparison I would use is like those Kodansha like part boxes. Like, you know how like on Attack on Titan they have like season 1 part 1, season 1 part 2.
Yeah.
How they do like those parts like box sets. Now,
Yeah.
I'm personally not a fan of those, but still, Kodansha did those and constructed those boxes way better than what Udon did. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Udon, but you're all gonna have to take the L on that one.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until Comic-Con came out, which again, by the way, is an event that not many people can access.
Yeah.
Because there's, sure, going to Comic-Con is cool and all, but again, they don't tell you the cost of the ticket, the cost of necessities, the cost of amenities, making sure like you're all good and healthy. The fact that we're still in a pandemic, so not too many people take that stuff seriously, so you're still running a risk at being like that close proximity with other people who might not take this whole situation as seriously as you do.
Yeah.
That was then where they still didn't even like make an official announcement. I had to look at the homie V-Lord, who was there at the panel, which was then they announced, oh, so yeah, that so my bad. Before that, they didn't say anything. I tweeted at them, multiple people tweeted at them, and then one random person with like one random fan posted about it. And then that's when they responded and said, oh yeah, it's coming soon. So fast forward back to Comic-Con, V-Lord was there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was when they said, oh, so those summertime rendering hardcovers, like volumes 1, 2, and 3, yeah, those are coming out the end of October. And everyone was like, bro, are you serious? October?
Oh,
and again,
man.
they still haven't posted it on the main account yet. They haven't.
Yeah, because I've been scrolling through the account while you've been talking, and I'm like, I've already gone back to June, and I don't see nothing about something.
There's nothing. And it's like, that's some very important information.
Yeah.
Now, at the time of recording this, Barnes & Nobles did open up the pre-orders again, and the supposed date on that is August, I think, 16th, so like the middle of August. Mm-hmm. But again, I don't know if I should trust Barnes & Noble or V-Lord, who was there, at the Udon event panel
Yeah.
at Comic Con, and they said October.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's which again, don't get me wrong. I understand there's some other things behind the scenes that I personally don't know about. I mean, I will probably find out maybe later on as the more I like more influence I get, the more people
Yeah.
I talk to and all the other stuff. But on a surface level, I feel like when it comes to stuff like that, you should at least say something. You should at least say like, oh, we have a delay or something. Even you don't even need to like give the explanation, just
Yeah.
something, because now what you're doing is you're allowing the general public to fill in these gaps of
Yeah.
information. And again, there's some people who come in with good intent and understand, but the general public being the general public, right? You're going to have those people who take that information to heart and will literally harass, bully, or anything.
Yeah.
And sure, they should probably like know how to conduct themselves better on the internet. I agree 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But that could have been prevented if you have said something.
Yeah.
Because then at the end of the day, you have said something, then nothing. And more people will appreciate you for saying something about it than just completely ignoring it and directing them to a blog post about it and not updating that blog post. And then still, like, not even say anything about it after a Comic Con event to, like,
Yeah.
it's like, come on. That's something that I 100% don't like. And I think Udon should take this as a lesson to do better. Are they going to do so? I don't know. Time will tell. But
So
yeah.
so I'm up here. Hold on. Let me change the thing on that. Um, so I can get accurate. Yeah. So I'm looking at Barnes and Noble's website right now, or whatever, and they still have all these hardcovers, even up to like volume 6, listed for August 2nd, which is like 3 days from the time when we're recording.
Oh yeah, that's another thing too. People are like, that was another like rhetoric that was going around where it's like, there's no way y'all are gonna release the hardcovers for 4, 5, and 6 before 1, 2, and 3, right? And I'm like, I'm of course for me, I try to keep my account like very like no opinions, no nothing, because again,
Yeah.
that's not a for me that's not a platform for me to be doing that.
Yeah.
Like other people can do it, but for me, I choose not to because I want to be as inclusive and as like open to everybody,
Yeah.
because honestly at the end of the day you'll come across a Twitter argument and such, and it's just such a negative headspace.
Yeah.
I don't want my page to be a negative headspace. I want people to like come in, look at what you're looking for. Oh, that's a cool manga, get out. Like that's what I
Yeah.
want. But I was there like very tempted to be like, you guys know there's no way that Udon Entertainment is going to delay 4, 5, and 6 a whole what 3 or 4 months because of volumes 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Unfortunately that's not how businesses work, and they're gonna still push it. So yeah.
And I also got to just comment in general that I am so sad of how summertime rendering across the board, everybody has dropped the ball. Udon with the manga and Disney with the anime.
Yeah.
Everybody, why? Why is such a great series getting, and I'll try to keep it family friendly, but just double effed
Nah, they
from
really
from both sides, because
yeah.
pretty much everything you just said with how Udon has dropped the ball with the no communication and everything with the manga, and then with how there has been zero communication from Disney on with the anime, because it's like in the lead up to it coming out, it was understood that okay, this is going to be airing as it's going on, and it's like Disney already does weekly shows on their platform, so this isn't like a Netflix situation to where it's like y'all are pivoting to something new. It's like, no, y'all have always done weekly releases of stuff. And then for the fact that like we're on the back end of this season and there's still been no message at least saying, hey, when the season finishes, it's all going to be put on Disney Plus or whatever. It's just being complete radio silence. And it sucks for people like me who are creators who are like, I'm talking about my podcast, people who are doing, reactions on their YouTube channels or whatever. And it's like, we're talking about how exciting this series is. And then it's like, now you have on both sides where people are like, oh, I'm going to go to the store and pick up the manga. Wait, where's it at? Oh, it's on. When I Google summertime rendering and where to watch it, I see Disney Plus listed. Oh, but it's not there. Hey, where are you watching it? Hey, how are you reading this? It sucks.
Yeah,
and,
no.
and it's like imagining the alternate reality to where, what if summertime rendering was streaming on Disney Plus every week? Like the amount of conversations that are already happening, imagine how much that would be magnified if everybody could be in the conversation and stuff in real time, man. It'll be fantastic. So
Yeah, no, I agree.
but what can you do? But for us to just to continue to, you know, be vocal, let our voices be heard, whether, regardless if it's, you know, respectfully, tweeting at these companies or, you know, talking about it on our podcast, YouTube videos, whatever, and just getting the awareness out there. And, both from the, hey, we're enjoying these series, hey, give us more, to also a little bit of, disappointment of like, hey, we want more people to be able to read this or to watch this, whatever. Help us out. Those little things can go a long way. And yeah, so I think we might give it wrap this conversation up. But
Yeah, no, for sure.
before you go, did you have any other final thoughts or anything that you wanted to share? This time, of course, I had a lot of fun with this conversation. So of course you will definitely, we will figure something out. You will return.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I'm an open book, and I got plenty of stories. So whatever topic that you want to talk about, let me know. I'll do the research, and I'll come back on here, and definitely chop it up with you.
Oh yeah, for sure, and for sure, when, you know, who knows, it might even be, hey, once you become a, a year from now when you got a million followers.
Oh, no, okay, all right. Listen. I told there was this one person that like I responded to, and I'm gonna find it. Like, and I'll be honest, if I hit like 10K before like the end of this year,
Yeah.
I'm crying. Like, I'm gonna straight up be crying. Like,
Yeah.
listen, dog. Like, it's just, again, that's what I'm talking about. Where it's like, you don't see that behind the scenes, but it's like it's just crazy because
Yeah.
trying to like think that of that number. Like, I remember when you hit 1,000, I was like, dude, that's 1,000 people on Twitter that could fill up like about like a grocery store or two
Yeah.
who check into your tweets and see what you want to like what you're doing or talking about. For me, it's like, dude, like about like a good small size like football stadium of
Yeah.
people are coming in like every other day, looking at what I'm doing or checking what deals are up for that day,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just crazy. And honestly, yeah, when I hit 1,000 followers, I cried, and my girl was on the phone like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Nah, dog. I hit 1,000, and I was crying." And she was like, "Well, savor this moment, man, because you know you're only gonna hit 1,000 once. And if I hit
Mm-hmm.
10K by the end of like this year,
Mm-hmm.
which according to some people might happen, I'm still, like I said, I'm that type of person who often doubts myself a lot.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, if it does happen, you're gonna see me crying, 100%.
Yeah. The watching this stuff, like I said, as a observer, it is kind of interesting, like, like trying to estimate like when somebody might hit a certain milestone, because real quick, going back to manga. How do you pronounce it? Morge?
Yeah, Manga Mangura.
Yeah, Manga Magura. Thank you. Uh, I've been kind of eyeballing that account like the last week or whatever. Cause and they hit that 100K even faster than I was thinking because they were maybe like 95, like real talk, maybe like barely a week or so ago. And so
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, at the pace or whatever, because I'm I'm seeing that that 90 whatever point, what I'm seeing the point whatever slowly ticking up throughout the day or whatever. And so I'm like, okay, I'm like, maybe by the end of August or whatever. And then it's like yesterday, like just 2 days ago, they were like at 98. And the fact
yeah,
that they went up like another 2K or
200.
whatever,
Yeah,
yeah, and hit that milestone or whatever that fast, it's like you would be surprised. And sometimes it's like sometimes you can predict it, sometimes you can't or whatever. Sometimes you just sometimes the algorithm is on your side and sometimes it's not.
yeah, no, and it's one of those things where it's like, um, even though I'll admit some of it does come to chance, like as you can probably tell, in my like upbringing, it's like some people like people came out and reached out to me, and again, not everyone has that same privilege.
Yeah.
I still like 100% say if you are truly passionate about something,
Mm-hmm.
don't let anything, don't let like these other like myself or Rob or anyone else tell you, oh, you can't do this. Like, do
Mm-hmm.
it because you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Do it because you are very passionate about the topic or passionate about the thing that you want to like share to the world. And if people like it, great. And if people don't like it, fine, whatever. All that matters is that you are happy with the content you produce and that you are honest with the audience that you are producing it for.
Yep. Yep. Couldn't have said it any better myself, man. Cause yeah, you'd be surprised of you know, people can tell. People can tell when somebody is passionate about something versus they're just doing it because it seems to be the popular thing to do or whatever. So yeah, definitely I second that thought of yeah. If you got an idea of something, whatever, give it a shot. Start with what you have, and you'll figure it out along the way and stuff. So because like I said, that is why I continue to do what I do and to talk about the things that I want to talk about and release content in the way that I release it. Because you know, there's times where I'm like, man, I am posting too much.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I really like about you, Rob, is that like others, I mean, don't get me wrong, I am friends with like a lot of these like content creators in the space, and don't get me
Mm-hmm.
wrong, they're all pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
There's just some content that I see out there that I can tell either they just have to do it because they do it for the money, or they
Yeah.
just do it because it's what's the it's what's the what they call meta or something.
Yeah.
And that's fine and all, but you should be always take creative risks.
Yeah.
And not only that, you should also do it at your own time. Like, you don't owe yourself anything to the general public. You should
Mm-hmm.
do it for yourself. And trust me, if you start doing that, people, sure, and you might not grow as fast as some other pages,
Yeah.
you will cultivate, in my opinion, a better audience that way than
Mm-hmm.
following the trends and following that stuff. Doing stuff your own way, people will come to you like-minded as you, and you'll have a more tightly knit community than some of these other pages out here.
Yep.
So
Yep. I can definitely attest to that in so many aspects because it always warms my heart anytime somebody either comments on a video or DMs me on Twitter or Instagram or whatever, um, and just be like, hey, they found me however way that they found me, and whether it be, hey, it's cool to see another dad, talking about this stuff, or hey, finally somebody else talking about this series, or hey, I never even heard of that. Thank you for putting it on my radar. All that stuff, just like really warms my heart and makes me love and appreciate what I do. And kind of last thing I'll say is, and I touched on this last, well, when I did my recap of when I went to DreamCon, that was another kind of situation to where like it made all these conversations I have every day with everybody online and stuff, it just made it that much more meaningful of when I was introducing myself to people, and when I was like, hey, I'm talking out timid and stuff. I'm like, hey, hi, I'm Rob from Dad Needs to Talk. And then they're like, wait, from where? And I'm like, from Dad Needs to Talk. And they're like, yo, what's up, man? And it's like the smiles, the hugs, the embrace, all that stuff. It was just like, okay, there are people actually paying attention.
Yeah, no,
to what I'm doing. And sometimes, and I was talking about this to somebody recently too, of like, continue to do what you do, because you never know who is watching, and who might secretly be a fan, and somebody, there's a lot of quiet supporters and stuff for various reasons. Either just somebody who they're not big on talking on social media, but they just enjoy following people for their content or whatever, or for their post, or it could be somebody from a company, from a publisher or whatever, who just searches the community and is like, this Alerts manga person seems cool, I'll follow their page. And then that could turn into something down the line of like, okay, I've been watching you for a while, here's an opportunity, or hey, we would love to work with you because we like what you do. You just never know.
Absolutely.
So it's especially with the anonymous nature of the internet.
Absolutely.
Somebody could work for the biggest company in the world, and you'll never know because they have a Pikachu profile picture.
I know, I here's just some behind the scenes. I actually look at who follows me, and every so often I try to follow some people back.
Yeah. And
I know I at least have a few people in the editing, translating, and lettering community follow me.
Yeah.
And I was shocked, like, dang, I did not know, like, you lettered Tokyo Ghoul, or I didn't know you translated a popular title that I liked, and it turns out I read your work. I'm like, holy crap. Or like I said earlier, when I had some members of the Gaming Illuminati follow me, which don't worry, by the time this episode comes out, I'm gonna try to reach out to them and thank them for being a really big, like, solid impression on me. To want to like be more passionate about the behind the scenes stuff. Like, you never know.
Oh yeah. So that'll kind of wrap things up. And like we just said, it's like, aim for the stars. Don't be afraid to shoot your shot and to put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to reach out to quote unquote bigger content creator stuff in the space, because you'll be surprised of we are all people, and regardless of if somebody only has 100 or less followers, or somebody has double digits, several thousands of followers, whatever. We all are here for our shared love of these various series and stuff. So, but with that, we're going to start wrapping things up. So, like I said, once again, thank you to Raphael, aka Manga Alerts, for coming on and joining me. Of course, I'm going to have links to all the social media stuff in the comments below. So make sure, if y'all are on the hunt for the manga deals, or just to be in the know of what's going on in the manga community, like we said earlier, from what's coming out, upcoming releases, stuff on sale, and everything in between, follow at Alerts Manga.
Yep.
So, any other parting words you want to say before we go?
Just follow me on Twitter. Make sure if you're looking for some free manga, like I said, I do giveaways every Friday, open to everybody. So if you've always wanted to, like, try to win some free manga, there you go. And I also host a collection in haul thread. So if you're looking for a spot to, flex what you cop that week, or you want to show off your really huge, like Jeffree Star style manga collection that you got, then shoot, just come. Or if you just want to like talk to me, I think I've always had my DMs open, and you can at me, and I will honestly interact with you. So keep it professional though. Keep it professional, because I like having some fun, but let's keep it PG-13. All right, let's keep it PG-13.
Yes, and I can for one attest to the DMs are open.
No, my DMs are like, I have at least here some behind the scenes. I have at least like 1, 2, 3. I have so many people.
Yeah,
like it could either be like you asking me like what's my favorite manga, or just a question that like I have. I think one time I reached out to Titan Comics, who's a really big who's a really big comic publisher. The ones who are going to release, I think, the upcoming Afro Samurai.
Oh
yeah, that's one's going to be. I'm going to cop that one 100%. You never know, or you could be like Heitzen and be like, hey, you wanna help us break our own street date of our manga? And then we'll be like, yeah, we do.
Yes.
So there you go.
So go support my homie. And as for myself, y'all already know this has been Dad Needs to Talk, your place, like I said, for fatherhood and family, manga, anime, and video games. And so make sure to follow me on all platforms. Make sure, if you enjoy watching, to subscribe to the YouTube channel, or if you just enjoy listening to these sultry fatherly tones, then you can find me pretty much on every podcast streaming service in existence. If I'm not there, let me know so I can get there. But to send us out, as I always say, treat yourself to something nice, read some manga, watch some anime, play some video games, and live your best life. And with that, we are out. Y'all be easy. Take care of yourselves. And we'll catch y'all in the next one.
Peace. That was a good